Welcome back. I'm back with another video. I want to talk about clarity today. Clarity and why it is so important in your self-improvement journey. Now, when it comes to clarity, one thing I want to get out of the way, clarity does not just mean, okay, I have taken a decision, black and white, yes or no, and okay, fine, I'm going to study this, I'm going to only be friends with this person, I'm only going to do this job, and that's it. No, clarity in my eyes also means that you're also open to new possibilities, and you're clear about the fact that when those possibilities come in your life, you'll have an open eye, an open heart, and an open aura and energy to be able to receive those things and then decide at that moment whether you want to go ahead with that or not. Rather than you always becoming wobbly and confused, and every time there is a new opportunity or a new situation or anything that falls in your lap, and then you're like confused all of a sudden because that new thing does not really go well with the initial plans that you had. So clarity has everything to do with you being very open to receive new things. I think it's a misconception that people have about clarity, that it's just about black or white, yes or no, left or right. No, there's so many things that can happen in the middle, and you have to be open to that, and you have to know in that moment whether you're going to go ahead with those new opportunities or not. So that requires us to be very open to receiving new opportunities, to receive new people in our lives maybe, to receive a new job in our life maybe, and even if it didn't go according to your initial plan, that's totally okay. So talking about clarity, since I have a lot of people that did watch my friendship video previously, if you haven't, I highly suggest you watch my video that I made. It was a few months ago, but I talked very much in depth about friendships between both the genders, friendships between women, let's say, and then friendships between men, and how they're so different from one another. That is a very good video that you all should watch, because you all will kind of get to know the dynamics of like true real friendship. You'll also be able to like tell if you have that kind of quality friendship in your life or not, because many times you have friends around you, yes, but that's not really how friendship is supposed to be. If you have already, by the way, watched that friendship video, then I would like to add that having clarity when it comes to friendships is very important. In this video, of course, I'm going to touch up on relationships, education, a little bit about your career and money, but also about friendships, because I feel like it's so important to discuss all of these departments, because they're all a part of our daily life, right? I mean, we all have jobs, we all have work, but we also all have a family, we also all have friendships and health and money, and all of these things is like a day-to-day part of your life which you cannot ignore. And when it comes to self-development and improvement, you better not ignore any one of these departments. You need to touch up on every single department, and that is self-development, right? So anyhow, let's get into this video. As I said, it's not just about yes or no, and that applies to friendships, relationships, education, career, money, opportunities, new jobs, everything. Even if you're a parent with your children, how open are you for them to do new things? Do you have like this kind of relationship where they're open enough with you, where they decide things with you, and you have that kind of a little bit of that friendship environment where they can discuss everything with you, and then you can be a source of clarity for them too. That is also part of your clarity. Let's talk about clarity when it comes to like friendships first of all. Now here's the thing. And this is something, again, very personal to me, because, you know, walking through life, we make friends of all kinds and all types, right? You may have friends that are like the family people, reserved, introverted personalities, or probably even like a little shy probably, but like really good, sincere people. You know, that could be your friends. You could have a friend who's like that in your group, or maybe all of your friends are like that. I don't know, it really depends on your preference. Then you have other friends probably you've had at college, at university probably also, who were probably a bit more like party-ish, you know, party mode on, going out a lot more, shopping out a lot more, staying out till late a lot more, who like to socialize with all kinds of people a lot more, and the list goes on. Now, clarity in this case would mean, what kind of a person are you yourself first? It's important for you to know yourself first, that, okay, you know what, this is my goal in life, but then does this kind of friend really sit well with my plan, or are they just a very big distraction? Because if you are somebody who is like, okay, you know what, after I finish my education, this is the kind of job I want. By this time, by this age, I probably want to be engaged or be married, and by this age, probably I want like 2 or 3 healthy children and stuff like that. If that is your life goal, which by the way, this is not the life goal for everybody. The people have different goals, okay? So you need to know what are your goals first, so then you can kind of figure out how to maneuver those things, okay? And so now if you have friends who, you know, maybe they don't have similar goals like that, you know, maybe the people you're hanging around with, you know, are a bit more surface leveled people, let's say. They like partying way more than you do. They probably do all sorts of crazy things that you're not really interested in. They probably are not all about family, but they're more about like traveling the world and exploring, and their exploring really never ends anyway, right? They're never really about being dependable or settling down or, you know, get stuck in one place. They can't be that. And if your plans are so completely opposite to one another, then does it even make sense to be hanging around those kinds of people? In a way, it's good, because when you see that side of everything, you're like, oh wow, okay, now that I see that all of this exists too, you know what, it's more clearer to me that I don't want any of that. So it's good that you have exposure to those kind of people or those kind of friends. I'm nothing against them. It's just that they don't align well with your goals, with your life plans. And if they don't, then don't use those people as a means of distraction in your life, or as a means of getting out of your comfort zone, because they help you kind of do that. You know, that's just you using people with no end result. It's not healthy for you either. It's not healthy for them either. You know, and I truly believe that if you are like a person like in this category, you should really be hanging out with people who are almost the same category as you. They probably have the same values and same like mindset overall as you. You don't have to be clones. You don't have to be like completely similar to one another in every way, but you probably should definitely have same values, same kind of similar traditional, not traditional, that's not the word, the same mindset overall, same values, same traditions overall. And then I think that will be very healthy for you. You know, then you've seen the other side and you're like, okay, you know what, that doesn't really work with me. I don't really like that side of people, or like that side that exists. I rather stick to this side, you know, because this sits so much well with the goals that I have. So, clarity about friendships. Don't hang around people that don't align with your life goals, because you are just distracting yourself, and it may also result in bad influence and bad things to happen, because, you know, certain people may have a very different influence on you, and they are going to take you to the direction that they're going to, but you have this direction, which I need you to be very clear about. That is clarity, right? Then think, okay, that person has like a completely different direction they're going to. Do I really want to go to that direction? Looks like I really don't. Do they want to come to my direction? Looks like they don't either. You know, they have like completely different lanes. You best be clear about the fact that both these people, they don't really gel well together. Yes, they may sit down, have like a cup of coffee together, talk and laugh together and stuff like that, yes. But all I'm saying here is that have clarity that this is all that friendship is good for. Nothing more than that. You know, they may never be able to relate to your set of problems that you have or you will have, and you will never be able to relate to their set of problems that they are going through and they're having in their life and they will have in their life, because it's a completely different direction. You know, party people get into other kinds of troubles that probably settled family people can't even think about handling those things, because they have so much going on in their life as it is already. It's full with family and work and friendships and all those goals that they have. They can't do it with one another. It's like a completely whole different world. So it doesn't really go well together, right? It's your duty, it's your job to, you know, get closer to people who also are of similar nature. As said, it doesn't have to be 100% the same people, same everything. No clones, but quite similar. It means that there will be less distractions, less kind of turbulence, less trouble coming from their side, and less drama, less unnecessary, unwanted drama. Now, coming forward towards relationships, I think, it makes sense to talk about relationships right after friendships, because I feel like every time we talk about friendships, sometimes friendships can turn into good relationships. They can turn into lifelong connections. So friendships can lead towards relationships. And one relationship we have is the blood kind of relationship, which is your close family, your parents, your siblings. That's that one family you're given by God by default, something you cannot choose, something none of us can choose. And you have to live with that, no matter if they're healthy for you or not, if they're good or not, if it's dysfunctional or not, whatever it is, you gotta deal with that, because that's blood. Okay, and that's how it goes. We're also conditioned to believe that also, and also I think by tradition, by default, by nature, by religion, by culture, we're just conditioned to obviously get along with that as much as we possibly can, because it's blood. Blood comes first. Blood is thicker than water, or what do they say? Blood is thicker. Yeah. So that's one thing. You have that family that you don't choose. It's given to you already. And then you have that family that can come out of friendships, true friendships, As I said, I think I mentioned that in some of my previous videos, that the best links that I have, as in my mentor, my guru, it all started with being friends, being socially adaptable, right? Being socially there. We were at some, it was my event, and they'd come to see me, and it just started from there. We had this respectable conversation, and a little bit of that friendship, let's just say, and then it just turned into this lifelong kind of connection where somebody becomes my coach or somebody becomes my mentor, and just kind of like family. And then some of you all make friendships with your neighbors, and they literally become your second family. And so that's why after relationships, I feel it always makes more sense to talk about relationships. So after friendships comes the relationships. So talking about relationships and clarity in your relationships, again, all kind of clarity starts by knowing yourself. Do you know yourself? Well, if you know yourself, then you already know, okay, you know what? This is the kind of relationship I will settle for. This is something I'm not looking forward to. Okay, I've met these kind of people, and I've seen this kind of examples, in front of me, and I see that, okay, you know what? This is what I like, but this is what I don't like. And you know how you get to kind of choose in your mind that, oh, this happened to my sister and I don't like that, or this happened to my best friend and I don't like that. You see stuff like that, and then you decide mentally, okay, you know what, this is for me, but this, no, uncheck, but this is tick, 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 yes. You make those mental notes. That is clarity, and that is a good thing. I don't know why for some reason people say, coming from a brown community, in our culture, they say this quite often, that the older you get, it becomes harder for you to even make friends, or get into relationships, or even settle down and stuff. I think it's quite not true, because I believe that with time, as you mature, you make those mental notes as you go through life, and you realize, okay, this is what I can go with and this is what I don't. You become more clear, and I will never be able to see clarity in a negative way, in a negative light. No, clarity is the best thing that you can have in your brain. If you don't have clarity, you'll be kind of going with the flow. You know how in deep oceans, goldfish that may not have the capacity to be riding the waves, and it just kind of goes with the flow for a while until the waves reach a certain point, and then it can swim back again. So I think it's kind of like that. If you don't have clarity, you're just kind of like a dead fish, just going with the flow in the ocean, in the river, in the sea, and just going with the water, just wherever it takes you. It could take you into a shark's mouth. Okay, so take control, and control means clarity. I hope it's still recording. Is it? My hair is always a mess, but I think it's alright. I should not be worried about my hair right now. We're talking about clarity. I should be clear about my own head. Clarity in relationships, by the way, also means that you know how to set healthy boundaries. You don't let anybody step all over them, and then you end up being resentful, angry, sad, and hurt, because again, that only ruins the connections that you may have. You may ruin that with your own family, or with your close relationships, or with your partner, or with your children. So keep things in a very healthy dynamics, and then you'll be just fine. And that can only happen if you have clarity. If you don't have clarity, people will be stepping all over your boundaries. They will try to cross the lines. They will try to see how much they can get away with. Everybody does that. That's human nature. That's human nature. Your children will always see how much they can get away with. Your partner will always try and check the waters and see how much they can get away with. Your friends will do the same. All kinds of relationships, they all do that. Even parents do that sometimes, you know. So having clear boundaries and a set of, not stubborn traits, I would say, but like, you know how when somebody just knows, okay, you know what, she's not gonna like it, so let's not talk to her this way, she's not gonna understand this kind of language, let's just be a bit more polite because that's the language she understands. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they need to know your clear boundaries. Okay, you know what, this kind of disrespect she or he don't accept, or this and this or this they don't accept, so we have to do it like this. Okay, good boundary to have. That's honestly the best thing you can have going for yourself. Everybody around you should know what you respond to. They should know you don't respond to BS. Okay. They should know you don't respond to aggression. Okay. They should know you don't respond to violence. You just cut off, go. You know, they should know you don't respond to BS. And that is a very healthy boundary to have with anybody, regardless of what culture says, regardless of what anything or anybody says. What is healthy for a human being is to have healthy boundaries. You know, that is good not just for your emotional well-being, not just for your relationship, but for your mental health. The best thing, have boundaries, okay? You don't want your mental health to get ruined? Have boundaries. Letting people know what you're all about, that is clarity. Choosing and unchecking what you've seen so far and what you will settle with and what you will not settle for, this is clarity. And this clarity always does come with time. Unfortunately, it may not be there with you when you're like a teenager or when you're in your early 20s. You know, you're figuring things out, you're exploring. You know, 20s can be quite a journey, quite like a roller coaster for most of us. 20s, we are just lost, honestly. Yeah, just early 20s, oh my god. Yeah, somehow personally I'm so glad early 20s went by because I was such a foolish, dumb person, you know, which probably everybody is, but I can just like now sit down and laugh about it. Okay, fine, you know, but generally it's a mess, little bit of a mess. I mean, unless and until you're a very sensible person by luck, or unless and until you have like a really good mentor figure in your life around you that really keeps you in check, but they also support you and they're just there, then you will be protected for the most part. Of course, basic protection everybody needs. But generally, you'll still be tempted to make a lot of your own choices, your own decisions, your own mistakes, your own lessons, hard way. You know, you learn the lessons the hard way in your early 20s, most of us. And that's just how it's supposed to be. That is what the 20s probably are there for, they say. But I think I would still suggest that if you have somebody very sensible around you that really keeps you on the track, like really focused about life, with a very clear mind, honestly, that's the best blessing one can have. You know, because you're not going to astray, you're not going to go off track, you're not going to go do stupid things that end up giving you bad results, you know, being on drugs, let's say, God forbid, or ending up being dead, suicidal, you know, problems, drugs, just stupid things, which probably, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get demonetized off my channel, but you get the point. You could also be somebody who ends up with a child and not even married. Like, so much goes on in this world and a lot of things happen, and most of these things happen to people at what age? Early 20. Awesome. Late teenage, early 20, that's the time. And then by mid 20s you really get sensible. And before that you're always thinking, okay, now I'm 23, I'm sensible, okay, now I'm 24, I'm sensible. Yeah, no. No. After 25, then we talk. Then you'll always sit down and be like, oh my god, I was such a foolish person just 2-3 years ago. You know, so I feel like for most people, it hits them at 25-ish. And then you start actually becoming a little bit sensible, you know, where you're like, okay, you know what, I need to learn from others' mistakes and like not do things myself and learn everything the hard way. I think that kind of wisdom does come after like 25-ish. And so what will get you through that time until this very sensible time neatly is going to be clarity. So if you're like a very young person watching this video, I really hope that you understand clarity means a lot more deeper stuff than just black and white, left and right, yes or no, up or down. No, there's always this middle ground. Yeah, that's where you will find clarity, you know, because life isn't just, honestly, it's not black and white. Every decision of yours is not just going to be just black and white. You know, there's 100 things to consider, to think about, to feel out. And you guys know, if you're a woman watching me, I'm always telling you guys, your brain is your gut. Your intuition is your first brain. For all you women, please stay in touch with your intuitive side. You need to be able to listen to your inner guide, your inner self, because that is the actual brain. And then the second brain right here, we can use that when needed. But the first brain, when it comes to any kind of decision, any kind of clarity, any kind of choice that you're about to make, you touch your gut, okay? And then you feel it out, okay, does it feel right? I'm about to take this decision. My system, come on, tell me, does this feel right? Or does it feel turbulent? Or does it feel too harsh or hard? Like, how does it feel? Does it feel ease and peace and soft? You go ahead. That's a good indication. Does it feel like, oh, I'm wobbly, I'm anxiety, I'm not sure, I'm confused, oh my god, this feels a little hard on me, I don't like it. Yeah, clear indication, it's a no. Okay, so as a woman, listen to that intuition, listen to that gut. More than anything else, it will change your life because you will make all the right decisions. That's what I can tell you. That's kind of guaranteed. And if you have watched like my previous video that I've done right before this video was all about human design. I really want you guys to check out that video. That's for every human being watching this video. Every single person on earth needs to know about their human design, because that is what will change your life. That is what will put you in the right direction and give you the guideline that you're actually supposed to follow. Okay, I'm not going to get into the details because then my videos tend to get like really, really long. Clarity about relationships. I highly also suggest that a girl, like a young girl watching me, whether it's early 20s, 30, I don't care. Even 30 is very young. Even 40 is actually quite young. You know, I mean, you meet 40 years old people and they're acting like children, honestly. I mean, not that it's something to be proud of, but yeah. You know how they say act your age? Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't really believe that much in that. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But act your age, I think, is a very graceful thing to do. Does that make sense? And I don't mean that you should just like be old and like just act very like low in energy. No, I don't mean it in that way. I just mean wisdom-wise. You know how you conduct yourself, like the wisdom you have, the decisions you make, the way you move in life. You know, that should reflect your age very nicely. Okay, by the looks, please look as young and as nice and as fresh and vibrant as you can possibly, and as much as you want. Okay, nothing is impossible. You can even like age backwards. There's so much science behind that too. We're not going to get into that today. Neither am I a doctor, but I don't need to. But I'm just going to talk about it regardless because I'm so much interested in these kinds of topics. But all I'm saying is, you know, your decisions, your grace, that can reflect your age. It should. But by the looks, young, fresh, vibrant, like that combination for both men and women, I think it's the most sexy. Can I use this word on my channel? Yeah, that is like very, very attractive. That makes you like a very high quality person. Let's talk about rich bitch energy. Like that is the rich bitch energy, you know, for both men and both women. I mean, you can't really call men rich bitch energy, but well, it's a term that I come up with. You guys know about the rich bitch energy, right? Hopefully my book will be out soon. I'm writing about the Uber girls and the rich bitch energy. You guys know that. I know you've been hearing about this for a while now, I know, but I'm sure it will be so worth it once it's out. And this trip is helping me so much, like be focused and like get back to writing and make content and do the right thing. And I'm really happy that I have taken like this kind of solo trip to really, really get back on track when it comes to like my content and my work and everything else in between, you know. It really helps. So I'm kind of glad to be here and doing all of this that I'm doing. I have so much space and ease of time and everything that I can really truly focus. You know, I really lost that focus because I was so occupied by so many things. Oh my god. And being a human design projector, again, I have talked about this in my previous video. I am a human design projector, and you know, we do take in everything that's coming to us from our environments, you know. So when we are occupied by so many people, you know, like how I was in Pakistan, I was all over the place. It was so hard for me, even for one day in between, to ever really focus on me, my health, get back into my skin, get back into my zone, and like focus on work. No, I was not able to do that at all. And if you're a human design projector, I'm sure you can like relate to that it's really hard to just be in your own skin when you're surrounded by like a lot of stuff, you know, lots of people. And it's just, you take in all of that, everything from your environment, and you're just like processing the data all the time. And by the time you've done processing the data, it's nighttime already, time to sleep. And then you repeat the next day, you know. So, yeah, you guys, yeah, projectors, it's really hard being a projector, okay? It is what it is. So I'm really happy that I'm now in my zone, and I can just like focus on me and do my own thing and be more clear and talk. And that is also why, by the way, I'm talking about clarity today, because clarity is so important. Hopefully, if you're not a projector, you probably won't be able to relate to what I just said about being occupied and like it's hard to get into your skin. That's like a projected thing, like especially with like classic projectors, you know. That has been me recently for the past, I guess, 3 months. So yeah, I needed to breathe. So here I am breathing and hopefully looking vibrant also, because all I'm focusing on is clarity and self-care, and that's all. And clarity about relationships, guys. If you're a young girl watching this, coming back to the subject, I think I've gone off track a little bit in this video, as usual, because I talk a lot. If you're a young girl watching me, please know that having clarity where you know, okay, you know what? This is the kind of guy one day I'll want. This is the kind of husband one day I'll want. It's good for you that you know that. Like, you better know that, regardless of what people around you tell you. I'm telling you as an older sister, like, I'm that sister you probably never had if you're watching my channel for the most part. I'm telling you, you need to be very clear and have clarity. Don't be listening to your girlfriends, okay? Don't be listening to your female cousins who are the same age. No, and don't be listening to anybody around you. And even with parents at times, and listen to this one. The thing is, sometimes, well, most of the time, parents come from a very protective place. You know, they want to protect you, they want to provide, they want to keep you very safe. And in that wanting to keep you that safe and sheltered, especially in the brown community, it kind of ruins you and your choices a little bit, let's be honest. It will, okay? So I just need you to be a little bit sensible in that, in this department. They are coming from a place, of course they're coming from a good place, but they're coming from a place of like overprotectiveness, possessiveness, no, that's not the word for parents, protectiveness, yeah, safety, they want to shelter you, you know, for safety, and that's all good, but many a times, under that influence, it's gonna be so hard for you to grow out of that and see from a third-party perspective what is actually right when it comes to relationships, you know. So that is also why I'm telling you, with all due respect, by the way, that listen to your gut, you know, and make mental notes. Okay, check, I like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. Oh, but my parents say this. I wonder what should I do now, because they say if I don't listen to my parents, I'm doomed to fail. No, you're not doomed to fail. That's just conditioning. That is like social conditioning. We're all, you know, taught to believe. It's not really true. Relax, it's not true, okay? Parents want the best for you, that's a given, we all know that. But you also should want the best for yourself also. And your gut knows where that happiness is going to come from, okay? So meditation, yoga, all of that is going to be your best friend if you want to listen to that inner voice, okay? Especially for females. For men too, actually, but for females, 100%, okay? So a young person watching me, have clarity about what you want in a person, in a partner, in a friend, in your fiance, in like your husband, whatever it is, okay? Have clarity. And that clarity will take you towards that, what you really want, what you really deserve, what you really need. It will take you towards your happiness, your destiny, in other words. But knowing and having clarity, you also need to know at the same time that please talk to other people or like be friends with other people who also have the similar kind of goals. And if they don't, you don't talk too much about stuff, okay? You don't tell them everything. Hey, this is what I want, this is what I want. No. Clarity is for you to keep it to yourself. Clarity is not, I want this and I want that and I'm going to tell the world what I... Be very careful and mindful. Again, talking to the younger girls and guys, when you become very clear but you're also now excited to tell all your clarity to your friends, it could really backfire, because not every friend around you is really a good friend at this stage of your life anyway, let's be honest. I mean, at any stage, let's be honest, for the most part, 90% of the time, okay? The thing is, they may copy your wishes. They may choose exactly what you said you wanted to choose, because they lack clarity themselves. So they're gonna try and like get into your clarity and do things followed by you, do things following you, and that kind of dynamic is kind of like messed up. Does that make sense? Don't tell. Your clarity is for you. You don't need to tell anything to anybody. And be mindful that when other people around you don't have clarity, they will take you in a very messed up direction, in a very messed up situation, which may not align with your goals and with your vision and clarity. Okay? So when you don't have vision and clarity, you're that dead fish example that I just told you. And when you have clarity and a vision, then you best only mingle and hang around people and friends and family members or whatever that kind of come from a similar place. You know, a little bit similarity is there. And even if there's no similarity, at least then there should be acceptance. You know, let's say for example, again, on Instagram I get a lot of messages about ladies getting into like toxic kind of relationships for some reason. And I understand that, it happens quite often, especially when you're young. I get it, you know. And a lot of times people have this problem where their friends are trying to ruin their relationships a lot. And like there's a lot of patterns like that I see. I mean, as silly as that may sound, but again, it happens when you're very young, you know. You don't know how to choose friends wisely, you don't have clarity about things, you don't have that vision yet, you're still trying to figure things out. That's normal, that's okay, you're allowed to, you're still young, you're like probably a teenager, you're probably only like 20, 21, and that's fine. But again, watch this video, show this to a younger person, because clarity is important because of all of this mess. You know, you won't get into this mess to begin with if you have clarity. That's why I started with friendships, because if you have clarity about friendships, you won't get into friends like that ruin then your next clarity, which is about relationships, okay? So don't let one or the other ruin each other. No. I hope my hair looks nice today. You don't need that extra kind of drama, unnecessary, it's rubbish. Clarity about friendships, clarity about relationships. Now moving forward, don't get into, I think, did I already say? Yeah, the point I was trying to make was, you will have friends like that kind of try to ruin your relationship, or like steal your friend, or like steal your boyfriend, or steal your fiance and do this and do that. Let that go. That's not for you. Don't get into dramas. You know, in fact, you should be sitting down every single day and pray to God that, you know what is not right for me? Take it out of my life. And that is like a very, very important prayer. I think this is something I'm probably going to share on my Instagram today also as a story. I like to share like inspiring things or like motivating things on my stories that may help you guys. I don't really share too much otherwise, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm like a bad influencer. I don't really consider myself an influencer, but I'm just like, you know, I don't really like sharing selfies and this and that. I don't enjoy that. I don't take pleasure in that. I mean, I like sharing food stories. That's just art for me. That's fun. Or just like places and stuff, but not really me, or like shopping, or like makeup. I think that's like such a basic thing to do, and I don't like sharing any part about that. That's just kind of boring. Like, what pleasure will someone get seeing my selfie, or like seeing me doing makeup, or I don't know, it's just basic stuff which I'm not interested in. And I hope you watching this, you're probably also interested in a lot bigger and deeper things rather than just makeup and selfies. I think that's listen, on this channel, these things are a given. You know, we already know how to do good makeup, we already know how to dress well, we already know how to make our hair look nice. We already know that part. EshaCosmetics.com, honey. By the way, the website will be up hopefully in the next month or so. I will update you guys. I've been on a long holiday, very, very long, and really ruined my mindset just a little bit, and I'm trying to like get back into my skin, as I said. So this solo kind of time, it was very much needed, you know. Rest and like get back into your skin, very important. I also like that it's allowing me the space and time to create more content and actually talk about things a lot more clearer also, without being all over the place, you know. Clarity, this is also clarity. Do anything it takes to get into clarity. Let's talk about clarity about money. Now, when it comes to money, it's really interesting. I'm not going to say much about it. It will be a long video otherwise. The thing about clarity in money is the more clear you are about how much you want to make, what you want to do, which career path you want to take, the more clearer you are about money, the more it's going to come in. And that's like a really fun fact about clarity. The more clear you are, the more exactly that you will bring into your life. You know, maybe it's God, maybe it's the universe, maybe it's just your aura and your energy bringing all those things in you, towards you. There is something, okay? I mean, there's lots of universal laws. There's law of attraction, the law of assumption, law of polarity, law of everything, okay? These laws, I do believe in them, obviously. We're going to talk about them maybe probably in a video later. But clarity brings you more money. That's for sure. Okay, you have clarity on friendships? Okay, you will attract that kind of friends. Clarity about relationships? Okay, you'll attract that kind of relationship. Trust me, regardless of what anybody says. Clarity you have about money, about your job, about your career path, about your niche, good, because it's coming. You have clarity about, okay, you know what, once I want to do this job, I want to learn this and that, no distractions, I don't need that, okay, and then after that I'll be doing my own thing probably and I'll make this much a month. Clarity, you need a lot of clarity. You will never make much and never earn much. Money is not going to come to you. Money is currency, money is energy. More than anything, it's energy. Appreciate money. Please try to have a healthy relationship with money. I tell you a funny story. I have a few cousins that okay, I shouldn't say much. Anyway, I know a few people. Oops. I know a few people that you know how you can share stories on like WhatsApp, right? They always share stories on their WhatsApp about money. How money is evil. When you die, you don't take a dime with you. Like those kinds of like really scary, religiously wrapped, scary stories. They are sharing on their WhatsApp stories. How money is evil. People who want money are evil. You cannot take money with you in the grave is evil. And I'm just like, why are you so obsessed with money in the first place that you have to share about money every single day? If you think it's that bad, why are you so obsessed with it? And why are you sharing about it every single day? Tell me. If there's something you don't like, why don't you just like leave it? Leave it. Why don't you become poor? Let me see how you live then. Let me see what you do then. Let me see how you're going to feed your children then. Huh? Let me see how you live a good life without money. Let me see. Why don't you do it now? What's wrong? If you don't like something, leave. Why are you so obsessed with it? Does that make sense? Like in my mind, it's funny. Because it shows that you don't have a healthy relationship with money. You don't have a healthy relationship with the things that money can provide to you. You know, you don't like it because you think money is the root cause of all evil. But at the same time, you're also going to be very obsessed with it, where you're going to be sharing so much about it. That is obsession. You're sharing about it. You're talking about it. You know, you're always talking about people. You know what? They do this. They do wrong things. That's why they have so much money. Yeah, they're doing wrong things. And they're evil people. Oh my God! And you know, they belong to some negative cult. Astaghfirullah. You know, like bad people. They make too much money. You're so obsessed with money. You have to sit down, talk about money. You have to sit down and share about money on your stories. You have to sit down and specifically point out those people that are doing well in life. They're doing better than you. Why? Why the obsession? If it's something you don't like, then why don't you just leave it? You know, it's like me saying I don't like Nutella in the morning. But I'm talking about Nutella every day. You know, there's Nutella in my fridge. I have to see it every day, but I have to talk bad about it every day. And I have to like tell everybody, hey, why are you eating Nutella in the morning? It's not good for you. Oh my God, leave it alone. Why? Will I not just like leave it? I don't like Nutella. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to ignore it. Even if the bottle is in front of me, I'm just going to ignore it and just grab something else. And I'm not going to be bothered who else eats Nutella. None of my business. I don't like it. I don't like it. Simple. But if I have an unhealthy relationship with Nutella, I will say, I don't like it, it's so bad, it's evil, it causes illnesses and disease, it's too much sugar, it's this and that. I'll be giving lectures to everybody how bad it is. I'll still see the bottle every day and I have something negative to say about it. That's a very unhealthy relationship with Nutella. With money in this case. That's not clarity. With that kind of wobbly and like confused, left, right, up, down, that kind of energy, you're not going to get anywhere with that. Why? Because lack of clarity. You don't have clarity about money. Where do you think that's going to take you? You don't even have clarity about your job. Well, how long are you going to do it for? Do you have any plan? Oh, you're just going with the flow. Oh, you're just going how your colleagues say that they will do the same, and then you'll do the same. Or you're just going by what your boss says and you'll just do that. And one day when he decides to fire you, you'll be fired and sit home and talk bad about the job and the people that were there. You will talk bad about the person that actually got promoted instead of you. Unhealthy relationship. Unhealthy relationship with money is the root cause of evil. Unhealthy relationship with money. A healthy relationship with money is not the root of, what do you say? The cause of all, what? Seriously. When I'm thinking too much, it's so hard for me to speak properly. The root cause of all evil is an unhealthy relationship with money. It's not money itself. Like, keep that in your mind. Like, write it down and just like stick notes in your room. Money is not the root cause of all evil. It's an unhealthy relationship with money that is the root cause of all evil. Unhealthy relationship, inverted commas, that's what it is. It's the unhealthy relationship. It's like lack of clarity. And when you have that kind of lack of clarity when it comes to money, you're doomed to fail. You're doomed to like not make much, because it aligns with your concept. So what concept do you have? Do you have a very like turbulent concept about money? Yeah, well then it will reflect on your paycheck. It will reflect on your income and your salary and your wages. It will reflect in your lifestyle, in your everything, in your choices, in your clothing, in your living life standard. It will show. Do you have clarity about money? Then you'll call in a lot of abundance. Anyway, I'm giving away too many secrets. This is all about the rich bitch energy, alright? Which I'm going to talk about in the next video will be about rich bitch energy. You better watch that video. I think it's going to be very useful for you, ladies and gentlemen, the few gentlemen I have that watch me. Thank you very much. Clarity, did I miss out on anything? There's like any point I want to say? Yes, having clarity about money also means that if you are somebody who's like super intelligent, let's say in college, university, you are somebody who's progressive and has that potential, whether you're a guy or a girl, doesn't matter, and you have a bunch of like below average friends around you that don't know where they're headed, that don't have a healthy relationship with money and this whole concept, again, not right, because it goes back to our very first discussion we had, clarity about friendships. Start there first, clarity about friendships, okay? Because if you're in education, all you have right now around you is your friends. It's not a relationship. It's not about money and job and career. That's next. That's gonna come later anyway. Right now it's mostly about like friends, especially if you're young, because you're school, college, university. You value friends a lot. So start with clarity of friendship, because then that will progress and get better. Clarity with everything will come after that, But let's say you don't have clarity in friendships and you try to have clarity about career, your friends will end up influencing you and take you with them in their direction, and that may be a downfall for you. But clarity in all these departments is important, but having one and not the other can influence the other, okay? And that will be a downhill direction. That was not your initial plan, that it should have been, but it was now influenced by somebody else, and now you're not happy. You will often meet people like in their 40s or like mid 40s and be like, not happy with my job, and I'm not happy with my career choices, I'm not even happy with the partner that I chose, and blah blah blah. Yeah, what, my parents were just like, this is good for you, so I just went ahead with that. Or my colleagues and my boss at work said I should just go with that, and it was good money, so I just went along with that. But it wasn't really coming from me. Midlife crisis. That will cause you a lot of mental stress, because you're not living a life strategically. You're not living a life that it's supposed to be for you. Again, which is also why, other than clarity, your human design is so important for you. Once you know your human design, you can check the chart and then find out your human design. It's different for everyone, but there's like a few categories of that. Again, I've talked about it in detail in my previous video. I mainly only talked about projectors and a little bit about generators. So find out what your human design is, and then look at your authority, look at your profile, and look at your defined centers and stuff. Yeah, you'll have to get into that, and then you will understand what strategy you have to follow in life to bring in everything in alignment. Alignment being the key word here. everything comes back to alignment. Clarity keeps you in alignment. Having a clear mind, a clear vision will keep you in alignment. You know, staying away from crappy people, crappy situations, all of that, you can prevent so much trouble and stay in alignment. Only clarity can do that for you. Listening to your intuition can do that for you. Listening to your gut will do that for you. So guys, I hope this video was kind of useful and helpful for you. In case you're new to the channel, my name is Isha, Lady Isha. I'm your coach for self-development, self-improvement. You know, my book will be out very soon about the rich energy, and I want you all to read that because it's gonna be life-changing for you. It will just like put things into perspective, and that's all I need from that. That will be like my goal accomplished. You living a healthier version of yourself, you living a better life, and you being an improved version of yourself. That is my goal. That is the goal of this channel, and that is what I'm here for. So, and also if you need private coaching, you can always like email me, or there will be a link probably under the video. And but just email me at MeLadyEsha@gmail.com. That's like my direct email where I reply you directly myself. Stay in touch on my Instagram if you like. And so guys, this was it from me today. Subscribe if you like to. I will see you in my next video, and take care of yourself and take care of your well-being. Bye.